So today we're going to be doing the Satin Slimline Pro. It's a little bit fatter slimline pen. I'm sure some of y'all are familiar with the slim slimline pen. This one feels a little better to me in my hands. I've got bigger hands. So we're going to be doing this. I've got a few of these kits to make, so using the acrylic acetate number 40 brimstone on those. Then the kit number XR90090 from Klingspor. We pick those up. Let's get it started. The first thing I'm going to do is take the stuff out of the bag here. Grab one of your inserts. Mark that out. Leave a little bit extra on either end. That way, whenever we take the end mill to it, we can come right up to the brass. Mark like that. Oh, look at the shop floor. It's a mess right now. Been lazy and not cleaning it. But anyway, the next thing we're going to do, I've got pin jaws mounted on my Supernova 2 vise, or chuck rather. Put that dude in there. Then we'll take, I've got the drill bit already set up in an end mill chuck. We'll secure that in there. And we'll get these drilled out. Okay, so we got two pieces. I always like to check my fit, so make sure I'm pretty close. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take this brass. Since this does have some white in it, whenever you get these somewhat thin, you'll actually see that brass color coming through on your pearl or your white. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take my brass and just give it a quick shot of white spray paint just to have that white, so whenever it gets close, you don't have that brass color coming through. Makes a lot better end product. Leave a little bit of a gap there so you can get your end mill, clean, square everything up, and it'll be ready to turn. Alright, so the next step is I'm going to take an end mill, and what this does is has carbide cutters on it. It's just going to run down in here, it's going to square everything up before we put it on the mandrel. If we butt that up on the mandrel and on the bushings, it'll be good clean edge to it. So we got a number 2 Morse taper into a mandrel A. It's going to be your mandrel for most your pin kits. Press that dude in there. Then on your tailstock, we're going to use a mandrel saver. I like these a lot better than the brass nut that you just thread on there. What it actually does is whenever you tighten it down, it actually pushes on your bushings and not on your mandrel. So not to say you can't, but you're less likely to bend your mandrel and get oval turnings when you're using this versus the brass nut. If you really snug that brass nut down, you can flex this mandrel. And you're either trying to straighten it and you're chasing your tail, or you're off to buy another one. They're not super expensive. You don't want to buy a new one every time you turn the pin and over tighten something. So This is just going to go in your tailstock, and this will just snug up over. And you just snug it down. Alright, so we got the pieces turned down, got them flushed up, end mill done. Now we are going to slide them on the mandrel. Our center bushing. Next piece. Now this kit, the bushings are the same width all over. You'll have some kits that each bushing is different width, so you need to take that into consideration whenever you're lining everything up. And, you know, if you're trying to match grain patterns or anything like that, you need to keep that in mind. This one, they're all the same, doesn't really matter. So we'll get it turning. So if it does that, just give it a little snug up. It should be good after that. So we'll get it down to round. We'll just get them turned down close to the bushings, and we'll start our sanding process after that. At this point, we're going to go our grits of sandpaper. We will go up to the grits all the way to the micro mesh 12,000. Get it real slick. We'll almost be done with this part. So after you turn it one way, you always want to go back and go the other direction. And it helps pull all the scratches out. It makes your sanding a lot easier process. So basically, I'm starting with an 80 grit. I'm just working my way up until I get the shape and size that I want. Still got a little bit, maybe a 1/16 of space between my blank and the bushing. So I'm going to get those flush. If you don't get them flush, you'll have a little overhang on your pen between your pen kit. It just won't look right. It'll look like a poor job. So you want to be sure and get those flush all the way across the board. So now I've just finished sanding to a 400 grit using the Klingspor J-Flex paper. You can get it online, get it in the store. Woodworkingshop.com, Klingspor's Woodworking Shop, either one, make awesome paper. I'm using this J-Flex. It's very flexible. You can really get a good wrap around it and just follow that contour. And with some other papers, you get real stiff, and this is a Klingspor paper too. I was using this a little bit different reason, but yeah, stiffer papers you just don't contour as well. That's why you want a nice soft. This is a cloth back paper, and it just just wraps around what you're working on. Great for lathe, great for turning. That's what I recommend. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go to our micro mesh. Usually I'll go between 400 and 600 before I go to my micro mesh. It's looking pretty slick at 400 there, so I'm just going to stop there. So basically micro mesh, keep them in water, little bucket here, and it's a wet sand. So what you're going to do is you're going to start at 1500 grit. So this is their color chart. You start at the brown or rust at 1500. We're going to go all the way up to the gray, and that's going to I don't think it exactly equates to a true grit for grit at 12,000, but you'll get it super slick. You're very much polishing at that level. So There's the micro mesh chart. That's the colors we're going to go through. Let's get started. It's just a quick polish here. And you can tell the difference just on that one, how much slicker that's getting already. So we're going to run through these real quick. Doesn't take much. As you can see, the shine on that didn't take long at all to get it where we need to be. Alright, so you can see the shine on that. You can stop there, you can go one step further. I like using the Hut Ultra Gloss. It's a plastic polish, so since acrylic isn't a plastic, we're just going to use this to polish that up and get it really shining before we do final assembly. All you need to do with this is just shake it up real good. And basically what I do is I tear off a little bit of paper towel. And this is a friction polish. So I'll just get a little bit on here so it doesn't sling too bad when you first start it up. And we'll go to polishing. Doesn't take a whole lot. You're not working very big pieces. Not a whole lot of surface area, so let's get started. Basically what you're going to do is you're just going to work it on there like any other friction polish. Build up a little heat. I can feel it getting hot on my fingers, so I call that good. You can see the shine and the luster in that. Now on this, where that white is, where we painted it before, you start seeing some brass looking color coming through there on that white if you didn't paint that. You can do it either way. I've done it both ways. Definitely get a whole lot better result when you have white tubes or you paint your tubes white. You can pre-order or buy some tubes white. Usually the most common is 7mm. Since we're using an 8mm tube on this, I had to make your own, so doesn't take long. A couple coats of spray paint, let it all dry. Whenever you glue everything up, let it dry real good, and you'll be fine with it. Let's pull it off here and get ready for final assembly. Alright, well that's completed pin. Got a couple of them done for a lady. Pretty neat little pen. I like these better than the slim lines, like I said. But check them out. Klingspor Woodworking Shop. Get them there. That's where I get all my stuff. Great guys, great folks to work with. They'll help you out. Talk to you next time. Thanks for stopping by. Talk to you later.